Good morning, my dear friends. Today I am going to explain the story A Truly Beautiful Mind. So I think this is the last or second last story I am going to continue. After this, we'll have to do grammar revision. We have very few revision of grammar have done. So now the time has come to do grammar revision. Writing we have done, reading we are doing, literature we are doing, but grammar we are not doing. So after this or one more chapter I will take, and after that we'll continue grammar. Okay, from tense, models, auxiliary verbs, and preposition, tense, direct indirect speech. Like this, we'll just continue from next or after this week. So this story is about beautiful mind. Beautiful mind is who is beautiful mind? Those who are very sharp minded, okay, those who are going to use their mind and going to give a very beautiful objects to the human being or to the world, they are actually beautiful mind. Okay, researchers, scientists, okay, they are the beautiful one. Like we have APJ Abdul Kalam, the beautiful mind. He has given a very good things for India and its people. And in this story we are going to have some beautiful minds. So first mind is here, uh, Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein, you might have read about him, okay, in history book or in science book, or now we are in reading about him in literature book. So some of the information is given about him. Who do you think of when you hear the word genius? Genius means extraordinary talented human being, very sharp minded. Who is a genius? What qualities do you think a genius has? This is for explanation. We shall now read about a young German civil servant who took the world by a storm about 100 years ago. Summer of 1905, the 26-year-old published in quick succession four groundbreaking papers. Means it was the research work of the young mind, young brain, young gentleman, the genius man, the sharp-minded man, okay, the unparalleled man. And who is that? It was the German civil servants, okay, who is the Albert Einstein. About light, the motion of particles. This was his research topic, the electrodynamics of moving bodies and energy. These are the research area he did, okay, on the piece of papers, and stormed the world, surprised the world, shocked the world. His work took up only a few pages in scientific journal, E is equal to mc square, but changed forever our understanding of a space, time, and entire cosmos. So, because of his revelation and research and presentation of his paper, it completely surprised the understanding and belief about of the human being about the cosmos, okay, and about entire things, space, and transformed the name Einstein into a synonymous for genius. Now, this was the man, okay, Einstein. 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius still reigns. Means after his death also, he is well known, okay, in the field of physics, in the field of cosmos scientist, space science and physics. So this is the brief introduction about Albert Einstein. The first paragraph is Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. Means in his childhood there was no index or indication that he will be a very refined, very great human being. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. Here, freak, the meaning is given there in your text, but you just think about freak means a foolish, a nonsense, an idiot, an unusual person. Okay. Abnormal man, abnormal child. To her, his head seemed much too large, and because why her mother thinks his mother thinks that her child is a freak because of his large head, big head. Paragraph second. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still was not talking. Till the age of 3 or 2, he was not able to speak a single word. This shows that he might be a dumb boy. Okay, he will not be able to speak in his whole life. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. And when he learned how to speak, so he was repeating one sentence twice. This shows his abnormality. Okay, this shows his uniqueness or the foolishness or the nonsense approach of telling anything. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him brother boring. Means he does not know how to make friends, how to play with them, how to compromise with them, how to involve and engage with them. So this idea he was quite unknown with this all, and that's why his friends and classmates and playmates called him brother boring. Okay, very boring objects, very nonsense man. Okay, very foolish one, like this kind of comments he was getting, okay, from his playmates and schoolmates. And so the youngster played by himself. So the youngster, okay, played by himself, he played himself. Means any game he play. A truly beautiful mind, this is the chapter name, it is written there. Freak, the meaning of freak is given here, a word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and does not behave, look or think like others. Means totally abnormal, okay, unique kind of man. Paragraph number second. uh, Neuber Otto Neuber, the historian of ancient mathematics, told a story about the boy Einstein that he characterizes as a legend. Means the mathematicians, means his math teacher, might have observed some uniqueness, okay, some excellency in his appearance or in his approach, and that's why he level an adjective that Einstein behaves, okay, his characters resembles with a legend, the great one. Okay, but that seems fairly authentic, and that was really good. Means it was the mathematics teacher who first recognized and realized the intellect of or the genius of the young Einstein. As he was a late talker, his parents were worried. This may be one question why the parents of Albert Einstein were very much worried. So because of his inability of talking, and that's why the parents were very much unhappy and worried. At last, at the supper table, means the night food, okay, supper table one night, he broke his silence to say, means this is the first time he spoke anything, okay, before the family members. And what was the sentence he spoke there? The soup is too hot. This is the first time, okay, he spoke a sentence before his family members on the supper, on the night food. The soup is so too hot, means it unbearable. Okay, it can't be sipped, it can't be taken. Greatly relieved means the family members were very much happy and relaxed. His parents asked why he had never said a word before, and now the parents ask that why you did not complain before this, did not speak anything before this. Okay, so now see the reply of Albert. Albert replied, because up to now everything was in order. So this was a very fine remark, okay, very nice remark of the question that why didn't you ask before. So he said that before, till now everything was in order, means after today the things are in disorder. So a very nice remark, okay, as a child. Much of the time he especially, most of the time, or here much of the time, He especially loved mechanical toys. This was his interest. Okay, this was his likes. He just used to play with the mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, now see the statement when he saw his newborn sister, Maja. This was the name of the baby. He is said to have said, means he said, fine, but where are her wheels? Here, wheels refers to the leg, but he was unable to think that how the girl will move. So here, wheel for him was very much important. Means he might have been installed with the idea of science. The wheel is the invention of science. So his approach was completely scientific. So he was trying to find out that if the baby is born, how the baby will walk. He was not sure about the legs that it will support her. And just as he is walking, she will also walk. But the refined statement is there, observation is there. She is fine, good, fine, okay. But how she will walk, how she will move. So he is trying to find out will, okay, in the body of his sister who was newly burned. Uh, Next paragraph. These are the very unique classification or catalog of his lifestyle. Very funny incident have taken place, okay, in his life. Once he was traveling, okay, in a train when he became famous. So the TT asked him, okay, that where is your ticket? Show me your tickets. So he start finding out the tickets. The man who was sitting next to Albert chided and scolded the TT and said that you don't know who is this man. He's the great renowned scientist. So the TT apologized for the things. Okay, he did that. Show me the tickets and asked Albert that you please keep your tickets. Okay, don't show me. After this, Albert starts searching. Okay, even he continued searching and said that it's okay. I'm not going to show you ticket, but I'm trying to find out my ticket so that I could come to know that where I am moving. Means even he was lost in such a way that he was not able to find out that where he is traveling and from where and until where he will have to go. So these are the funny incident took place in his life, and that proves that he was not very smart in his approach. He was always lost in his thoughts and experiments. Okay, so these are the some funny things. Uh, a headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession would matter because he will not succeed at anything. This may be a question: why did the headmaster of Albert School said that Albert will never be a successful man? So because of his lost approach, because of his inactivity, okay, he was not perfect in anything, and because of that the headmaster might have concluded that this boy is completely dull, completely a nonsense, completely an idiot. Okay, he will not do anything, he will not be able to do anything. Okay, Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6. So he was a he used to play with violin. Okay, this was his hobby, this was his likes. He started playing the musical instrument at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. Okay, and this was the likes of the mother, and that's why he started playing violin. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, and after some time he became very famous. Okay, and very nice violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life, and he was able to just play the violin very effectively. Okay, very nice one. Okay, and through his life, okay, he used to play uh, all these skills of the skill of playing violin. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil, means he was not a bad student. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. This is his family background, that at what age his family moved to Munich. and how he was admitted in the school, and he scored uh, very good marks in all the subjects, almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his teachers. Regimentation here refers to the rules and regulation, the way of teaching, and the principle, okay, the law and everything was not okay according to him. And because of that, he used to argue with the teachers and clashes with the teachers' ideology and the principle and the law of the school. Means he didn't like the school law and rule and regulation, and because of that the class was normal. The class was obviously, it was normal in that case when he was not happy with the rules and regulation. So at the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there that he left the school for good. And at the age of 15, he realized that he is feeling completely uncomfortable in the school. Means he was stifled. Stifled is a kind of suffocation. Means he was feeling completely uncomfortable, okay, suffocating in the school because of the regimentation and excessive rules and regulation, okay, in the school. We have one great writer, Ravindranath Tagore. You might have read about him in Hindi book, that how he was just avoiding the school, and how he was not willing to learn his lesson, and finally how he became the greatest writer of the world and received Nobel Prize for literature for his the extraordinary um, work Gitanjali. Okay, so these are the brief sketches of the beautiful minds, the great mind, the great people, that they were not also very good like Mahatma Gandhi. When you read the childhood experience of Mahatma Gandhi, you will come to know that Mahatma Gandhi was not better than us, better than you all, when he was in class 9. Okay, so these are the things trying to just convey that once we will very much determine, once we will just decide that I want to do something in my life, we can do this. Okay, so these lifestyles of the great people are the great lesson for all the human being, all the students, to just fix, just decide something in your life, okay, and just devote yourself towards the aim, and you are sure and certain the aim you will definitely achieve. So this kind of things we'll have to just install in our mind, and we'll have to learn these ideas from the lifestyle of this great man. So he was not feeling well, okay, in the school, and that's why he left the school. After this I will continue in the next class. Thank you very much. After the completion of this chapter, I am just preparing some material, okay, about the grammar, and then I will give you audio or video lecture or audio video explanation about a grammar book. Thank you very much. All the best. God bless you all. You will do the homework assignment, okay, of the chapter Kezia, the little girl.